This story teaches one hard truth: betrayal does not always come with anger. Sometimes it comes disguised as care, and when people plan your life without you, the strongest response is to take your power back quietly.
The email was still open when the cake should have arrived. My name sat in the subject line like a diagnosis. Assisted living options urgent. I stared at the screen while the house breathed around me. The clock ticked. The refrigerator hummed. My phone lay silent, face down, like it knew better than to interrupt. Outside, a taxi idled. Their taxi. Luggage already in the trunk. Europe, they'd said. A surprise trip. We'll celebrate when we're back. I scrolled. Bullet points. Costs. Availability. Notes about declining independence. About me. No card on the table. No candle. No knock at the door. Just my son's careful words typed to a stranger, rehearsing my disappearance. My hands didn't shake. That came later. What came first was a strange calm, the kind that arrives when something inside you finally stops pleading. I closed the laptop. Through the window, I watched my son kiss his wife's cheek, watched him smile. The same smile he wore when he learned to ride a bike, when he buried his father. He didn't look back at the house. The taxi pulled away, and on my birthday, I understood something with terrible clarity. I wasn't being abandoned. I was being managed. I told myself there had to be an explanation. That's what love does when it's cornered. It invents exits. Maybe it was precaution. Maybe concern, maybe a misunderstanding wrapped in bad timing. I poured coffee, let it go cold. The emails kept talking when I reopened them, threads going back months, conversations I was never meant to see. His wife's tone was clinical, efficient, as if she were reorganizing a closet instead of a life. She's more fragile than she admits. He doesn't see it yet. We need to act before something happens. Something. I read that word until it lost meaning. They'd visited more often lately, asked questions, suggested handrails, smaller meals, less driving. I'd mistaken it for care. I'd thanked them. Denial is quiet. It doesn't scream. It rearranges the furniture of your mind so the truth has nowhere to sit. Then I found the attachment. A draft letter, unsent. Mom, this is what's best for everyone. Everyone except me. I didn't cry. I cataloged. Dates, times, language. This wasn't panic. It was planning. And planning has fingerprints. I moved slowly, deliberately. I called my doctor, scheduled tests I didn't need, passed them all. I requested my bank statements, saw the withdrawals, small, regular, just enough to go unnoticed. I checked the house deed, still mine, for now. At night, I lay awake and listened to my own breathing, measuring it like proof of existence. During the day, I smiled at neighbors, watered the plants, played the role they'd written for me, fragile, oblivious, compliant. I hired a lawyer whose voice never rose above a murmur. I slid the emails across his desk. He didn't flinch. "Do you want to stop them?" he asked, "or finish this?" I thought of the taxi, the smile, the word urgent. "Finish it," I said. We worked in silence. Paper trails, permissions, power of attorney rescinded, accounts frozen, the house transferred into a trust with my name carved deep into it. Every signature felt surgical. No wasted motion, no emotion allowed to bleed into the margins. When they called from Paris, I let it ring. They returned tan and breathless, carrying souvenirs and guilt badly disguised as affection. My son hugged me too tightly. His wife scanned the house, counting. "What's this?" he asked, noticing the empty bookshelf, the bare walls. "I redecorated," I said. We sat at the kitchen table. The same one where he'd done homework, where his father taught him fractions. I slid a folder toward him. He opened it. Documents first, then statements, then the printed emails. His face drained in stages, confusion, recognition, fear. I can explain, he whispered. I watched his wife grip the edge of the chair. Her composure cracked like thin ice. I know, I said. That's why I didn't ask. Silence collapsed inward. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. Truth doesn't require volume. I've moved out, I said. Effective yesterday. His mouth opened, closed. The house is no longer an asset you can leverage. My accounts are protected. Any further attempt to interfere will be documented. I stood. You planned my ending, I continued, calm as weather. I simply edited the final draft. His wife finally spoke. Where will you go? I looked at my son, really looked. Somewhere I'm not a problem to be solved. They didn't follow me to the door. They couldn't. Power has weight. It pins you in place when it shifts. The new apartment is small, quiet, honest. I bought myself a cake the next day, ate it alone. It tasted fine. I don't miss them the way I thought I would. What I miss is the version of myself that believed love was immune to strategy. Now I know better. I am not fragile. I am not urgent. I am not disappearing. I am simply no longer available to be erased. And that, finally, feels like a beginning.